Yo, I'm back. Hocus Pocus. That's the stuff. Last time, we beat the bosses of episode 1, which is just an area of monks that all do the same thing. They just stand there and throw shit at you. Wow. They're just HP buffers. I'm wondering if they would have taken more hit points had I increased the difficulty, but we may never know. Anyway, what are we going to deal with now? We're going to deal with something. It sounds like I'm being vague, but I'm using as much as I remember, or how much the game even gives me. Because the episode names don't really indicate too much, other than you're going all over the place. Except for the last one, which just indicates you're going to be done with the game, so I mean, alright. What the hell is this music? I don't know. I don't even understand the theme of this one. But we got, like, what looks like centaurs, maybe? Quadrupedal centaurs. So they're not quite centaurs. They're semi-centaurs, which makes semi-sense. Yes, the rare the 0.5 coin. Half a penny. Half pence coins. And whatever these are, little Dratini-looking asses, I don't know. Yeah, everything's red. The background just suggests we're in the clouds. I have no freaking idea, man. Maybe it's like supposed to be Greek, mythological sort of way. I suppose that's as close as I'm going to get, is that it's vaguely Greek. But maybe, just maybe, if I can get all the items I need, I can peruse. I see you returned. This message is solely for someone who bought the game after playing the shareware. So it's like, you're actually playing this game. You're not just some freeloader. Ha ha ha. Yeah. They do that with another game, Cloud Adventure, where it's just like, hey, buy this game for Chapter 2 somewhere in the middle of the game. It's like, oh, yeah, okay. Again, that's a weird game that I wish I could just do at better, but... Oh... Why am I only slightly going down the stairs? Because enemies can show up anytime. I don't remember where the enemies spawn. I just need enough reaction time to respond to them. That's all it needs. They can even kill me after I've already killed them. Mutual kills. Yahoo! That's what I do to you. You-hoo! That's what I chocolate milk to you. That's what I do to all the things. All the red gems and the gray gems, and everything's red. The crown has red jewels in it. The crown family jewels. These guys neglected to show up until after I'd surpassed them in horizontal distance. Oh boy. Repetitive motions. That's what this game is like. This game is like when you're going through the motions after you go through a breakup. It sounds terrible, but it feels true. And isn't that what really matters in life? What you feel is true rather than what's actually true? No. That's wrong. You're a wrong person. I know, you're expecting some sort of, like, tropes where I talk about fiction that involves magic and wizardry. Nah. Not really. This is well before I ever learned about Harry Potter, anyway. Although I could talk about Harry Potter if you want, but... Nah. I mean, I suppose I could. I could tell you that I've been reading it since, like, the beginning, but that was only at the behest of my own... Yeah, it was like... My grandmother and her sister, and my great-grandmother, all three of them encouraged it. I'm just like, And now thinking about it in hindsight, just like, This is kind of the expected outcome. What's going on with this kind of stuff that I want to know about? Kind of expecting something else to happen. At least I remember that there's certain cubes I have to destroy. It didn't look immediately obvious, but there it is. It's time to warp zone! Time to warp. Yeah, 250 points. Wow. That's the greatest amount. Crowns are worth the most. I don't know why you wouldn't just try to get all the items, unless you were trying to go for the part-time over items. Do one of those any percent run things that I see you're so fond of. Oh yeah, speedrun this game, that's a thing. This game is like so simply programmed enough that I feel like that there is like an actual max limit, so you could probably make the perfect tool-assisted speedrun for this game, and that'd be a rarity. If not for the fact all those glitches make things unpredictable, so maybe they just do all that. I don't know. I'm going to have to check on that crap. That's another thing I don't get. With various versions of DOS, or various versions of DOS and emulation, and just the various releases of one game, even when not marked officially, what ultimately decides what's being used might be for entertainment value rather than pure speed. I mean, you could have runs that are, you know, glitchless, as in they don't use glitches, but then there's another thing where people do parts of a game that aren't intended but are actually part of the game. Like, no one expected. They're called exploits in gamer parlance, which is when you do something that gives you an advantage that the developer didn't intend to even happen because the debuggers never discovered it originally, or something like that. Well, that's too bad for them, isn't it? And you end up with, like, weird things like wave dashing. That's the big one. Probably why Nintendo goes after those melee events. It's like, oh no, that's all those wave dashers that... Or just they just make the be like, alright, forget all the items in the Smash game. We're going to make it like an official fighter. We're just going to take out all the things that vary. The arenas. We use the same characters. It's like, why? Like, do you want to play chess? Is that what you want? It's like, I want perfectly symmetrical violence. Okay. You could assume skill will go down that way, but the thing with that is that that would assume both of you are symmetrical, which you're not. Are two humans ever symmetrical to each other? Is that why there's always a winner? Like, there's always a difference between someone and someone else. Otherwise, they would literally be clones beyond even being identical twins. How do you suppose that would work out? Yeah, clone to the point where the fingerprints are the same. That's the shit you should be worried about. To say nothing of Dolly the Lamb, which didn't live very long because it was born old. Or essentially, it's because DNA deteriorates over time, so you're just like cloning them at that age that they were made, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know why we just let ourselves deteriorate without being like, maybe we should do something about this. Nah, we just shit on each other instead and just let things ride by. It's honestly upsetting. Or it's if I had at a fuel for like truly hating someone, it'd be like some amount of nihilism of being like, you're not even gonna live that long anyway. But then I remember I have some anti-nihilism, which then affords me some freedom, so I do not have to be an asshole. And I really don't. So I don't know where this conversation went. It's hard to get a focus in this theme. This is probably the least sensible theme in the game. Like, even the music. I'm not sure what we're going with there. I mean, it feels like transitory in a sense. I found another warp zone. This warp zone... Wow, a secret area with enemies in it. Gotta kill for the thrills. Hocus Pocus is what pays all the bills. Someone's bills. And I just got a fancy hat and cape that assumes that I do magic. It gives me some, like... I feel like this dude still feels like he just came out of high school and they wanted to join a council. So, methinks, really, he just failed college courses in magic. But it's still like, yeah, no, I can save the world. I don't have to be smart. And considering how the game plays out, maybe that is true. It's all about them idiot heroes. Because being smart is for evil people. Yeah, okay. That's how we get to these weird side objects of being like, hey, how'd you get to be smart? It's like, I don't know, just am. Like, they want an explanation for intelligence, and they're not going to get one. Because you have to be intelligent to be able to know intelligence, you see. Supposedly that's how education works, by, like, ascending those who couldn't do better otherwise in some other context. But you know what I think? This is going to be like a hot take, but I think it's rather a somewhat lukewarm take between slightly toasty take, which is education's only going to get you so far. It's a lot like how tall someone is. You can't train for height, just like you can't necessarily train for intelligence. You could do better by just, working hard at it, but it's going to take you more effort to expend. Kind of like where I'm not socializing with everything all the time, even though it seems like I clearly can. It takes a lot out of me. You probably don't realize that. It also takes a lot out of me to keep talking on these video games all the time, which is a weird fact to have to know, because you think to yourself, oh yeah, hearing someone talk is costless. Oh no, it takes a lot more energy to talk than to listen. Which is why you're such a smart git for just listening to me. When they say get good, they're referring to gits. Keys. Sure like those keys that I like to put in. It's not a DOS game unless I have keys in it that I have to find and put into a door somewhere. Or switches and levers. One of those two things. Switches, levers, and keys. Oh, and teleports. Can't have a good DOS game without random teleporting, because we have to make like blocky designs rather than just a left to a right thing. I mean, they do that in Mario with pipes, but that's just more like supposed to be a secret thing. So it takes you to passages you wouldn't otherwise know about. Here it's just like, you need to know about these secret ways of doing things, or you're going to be lost. Not fast enough. No bonus. Aw, man, I'm a nobo hobo. God dang it. I want to beat very fast. What's that music? I don't know. It looks like we're just in a gray place. Yeah, this is the grayest place of all time. Right. I guess I'll have to see you next time, then. Because I got not off to say. This it really isn't a bad game. Don't shit on it. Don't shit on it. Seriously, I see good games on what people consider to be crap game streams. I'm just like, this game isn't that bad. How dare you making fun of my childhood like that? I wouldn't say it's bad. Oh well. To each their own.